Hello and welcome to PTC Post Up. I'm Mitch Spinell. The Los Angeles Lakers may be withdrawing from the Anthony Davis trade sweepstakes after New Orleans reportedly asked for too much in return. And finally, Jarvis Landry is set to finalize a 5-year contract with the Cleveland Browns worth a reported $75 million, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. I think this is still a talented team that is one of the top 4, if not top 5 teams in the MAC, and it is a team that can make a run if they get hot enough to get to Cleveland, especially against a team like Akron, even against a team like Buffalo. According to Broderick Turner of the LA Times, the Pelicans requested a package that included 6 to 8 draft picks. Well, first of all, it obviously shows that his passion is football if he's willing to walk away from a sport that could potentially get him more money, even though he could be a very high first-round pick. Now that it's proven that, even though January reports said he wanted to stay with the team, now that he's saying that he wants out and will not sign an extension after his contract ends in 2020, the Pelicans are in a similar situation to what they were with Chris Paul back in 2011. With an expected recovery time of 12 months, Wall is out for the rest of this season and is likely to miss most, if not all, of the 2019-20 NBA season. I think it has the potential to succeed. I'm not sure if it's a guaranteed success after only 1 week. It'll be the first year of the 4-year, $170 million contract extension that Wall signed with Washington in 2017. Absolutely, it's one of the greatest parts of high school athletics, seeing the fans who come to every game cheering for you and your team. You get an energy from that. As mentioned earlier, the annual NFL Draft is starting this weekend, with the first round of draft selections being announced tonight at 8 p.m. And speaking of contract signings, 2 major ones have yet to be announced in Major League Baseball. The Cleveland Browns hold the numbers 1 and 4 overall picks and are expected to take a quarterback with the first, which could now be between USC slinger Sam Darnold or Oklahoma Heisman winner Baker Mayfield. Bryce Harper and Manny Machado have yet to sign with any major league clubs, and spring training is starting less than 2 weeks from today. Jalen Walker, one of the top scorers in the Mid-American Conference, not getting to his seasonal average. Allen has since deleted the tweets which contain racial slurs and other offensive language. Now, Harper was rumored to being set to sign with Philadelphia just a few days ago, although reports have now shown up to 8 teams are interested in the former most valuable player. Landry was dealt to Cleveland from Miami last month as part of John Dorsey's multiple offseason moves. And Yankees right fielder Aaron Judge told TMZ Sports on Monday that he would welcome Harper, also an outfielder, to the Yankees organization. Well, you and me both. I actually have in my bracket the Final 4 being Gonzaga, Cincinnati, Villanova, and Duke, with Gonzaga and Villanova meeting in the national championship. And Gonzaga, they did not win it last season, but they're going to take the title over the Wildcats, who won it 2 years ago. Now, as for Machado, he has spurned a number of offers during the offseason and could potentially sign a 1-year contract to re-enter the free agent market in the winter of 2019. Machado's reported pursuers are the Chicago White Sox, San Diego Padres, and his team from last season, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dan Hurley's Rhode Island Rams were ready to take on Trae Young and the Oklahoma Sooners. Trae Young, a National Player of the Year candidate. With 2 minutes left to go, Trae for Trae. He had 28 points on the game, a very solid night for the potential NBA draft lottery pick. However, later in that quarter, E.C. Matthews with the drive, the shot, and the foul. Matthews came up big in the clutch. Within the closing seconds, Rhode Island trying to get the shot here. A rebound and a missed layup by Stanford Robinson nearly ended the game in regulation. Extra time in round 1. In overtime, Matthews nails the 3 to extend the Rams' lead in the game. Oklahoma would respond, however, with the short jumper here. They tried to stay close into the game, and I'll give them credit for this. Young and the Sooners proved that they were not just a fluke into the tournament. However, Matthews icing the game with the 3, as you see here. Coach Dan Hurley loving it. Sooners coach Lon Kruger, not as much. Rhode Island takes down Oklahoma 83-78. And there was one game that was actually happening during our show that we got a final on. The Ohio State Buckeyes advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament with an 81-73 win over the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And the Cavaliers taking on the Pacers in Game 5. Royalty in Cleveland in the stands, Jim Brown, and on the court, LeBron James. Early in the game, Kevin Love here with the early basket. And Pacers are about to take the ball out here, but J.R. Smith with the defense, picking off the pass from Miles Turner, gives it to LeBron, getting the layup here. The Cavs were down at halftime, but they would battle back here in the third quarter. LeBron gets the steal, going up for another layup, pushing Oladipo off the backside. The Cavs would get double-digit lead here in the fourth, but the Pacers would battle back. Late in the game with less than a minute to go, Domantas Sabonis with the free throw jumper. Pacers tie the game. After a Cavs turnover, Oladipo tries to get the go-ahead shot, blocked by LeBron James. Take another look here. LeBron blocking it off the backboard. The Cavs would take a timeout with 3 seconds to spare. Jeff Green inbounding. LeBron James icing the game with the buzzer beater. The Cavaliers win 98-95. Take another look in slow motion. It looks even better. The Cavs celebrating. The Pacers cannot believe it. You see Turner here. Cavs take a 3-2 lead going back to Indianapolis on Friday. LeBron embracing the city of Cleveland. And finally, Indians-Cubs last night in a rematch of the 2016 series. In the top of the fifth, Anthony Rizzo with the RBI single off Trevor Bauer. Cubs take a 1-0 lead. In the bottom half, however, Brandon Guyer ripping one down the left field line off of the left field foul pole to tie the game at 1-1. Next inning, Francisco, that's fun to say. Francisco Lindor, his third home run of the year. Indians would go on to win the game 4-1. And finally, in spirit of the draft tonight, Baker Mayfield tweeted this photo last night, a recreation of the photograph moment that Hall of Fame QB Brett Favre learned that he was being drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in 1991. Mayfield and members of his family can be seen recreating the details of the 27-year-old photo. That's actually an interesting fact that most people don't know. Brett Favre is a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, but he was originally drafted by Atlanta in the third round in 91, played one season before moving to Wisconsin. And a special shout out goes to LeBron James, who in his 82nd game this year on Wednesday night, for the first time in his 15-year career, LeBron participated in every regular season NBA game. LeBron has played in at least 75 games in 13 of his 15 NBA seasons and has reached 80-plus games 3 different times. We go now to Pittsburgh between the Penguins and the Flyers. A big night for Pitt and Sidney Crosby himself. With a 4-0 lead already, Crosby deflecting the puck from behind his back into the net. Pittsburgh would have a 5-0 lead later in the game. Crosby picking up the loose change on the left side. Pittsburgh takes a 6-0 lead in the third period. Still in the third period, the game is over at this point. It's 6-0. Pittsburgh is going to win, but Crosby gets his third goal of the game, the hat trick. The Caps are flying onto the ice at PPC Paints Arena. Penguins over the Flyers 7-0. They take a 1-0 series lead in the opening round of the NHL playoffs. Going to baseball, Carlos Carrasco and the Tribe taking on Detroit. Carrasco looking sharp early in the game as he gets Jose Iglesias to whiff there. The Tribe bats were flying in this game as Yonder Alonso gets the 2-run single to give Cleveland the 2-0 lead. Later in the inning, Francisco Lindor from the right side of the batter's box here gets a rope to left field, putting in another run. The Indians would later get a 3-0 lead in the inning. Yan Gomes scoring here. He likes the production from his team. Carrasco would go into the ninth inning looking for the 5-1 win, and he would get it with the ground out from Nick Castellanos. Carrasco, 9 innings, 6 strikeouts, only 3 walks on the day. Across the street from Progressive Field to Quicken Loans Arena, Cavs season finale against the Knickerbockers. LeBron James starting the game well with the slick jump shot. LeBron had only 10 points in 11 minutes of play, getting rest for the playoffs. And New York took advantage of Cleveland's B team with Trey Burke getting the tray from the right side. He had a good night, 19 points on the game. Later in the game, Chetty Osman loses the ball, and on the fast break, Burke will get the go-ahead dunk right here. The Knickerbockers end their lowly season with a 110-98 win over the Cavaliers. The Cavs start the playoffs versus Indiana on Sunday.
I picked New Mexico State to win it all, and by all, I mean every game. I think the Aggies are really going to pull it off. You see the Aggies are playing each other in every game. I'm not doing so well right now, but, it's going to be a party in Las Cruces when the tournament's over. So that's all I got to say.
Those are some good picks you got there.